Welcome to French Indochina, and I'm going to look how French you can get here with the food, because the food here is really a mix of the local Vietnamese food, historically, which was more similar to China, and the influences from the French, also influences from the Americans, but the French influence is very substantial. But yet we still have all these communist flags here everywhere. But I think it's fun to see, you know? They don't have a real communist system anymore. It's very much a mixed free market system these days, but that's better for the people here anyway, I guess. I finally found an actual little supermarket with real fruit and vegetables and dairy products. And yes, they have cheese. French cheese. And this is brie, and this is camembert. And this one they also have at a lot of little convenience stores. Here you have more like cheddar, which is more like American style, which they were occupied, let's say, by both countries at different points in time. So that's interesting. That makes sense. Then here we have some meat. So here I found a little bakery shop, which are very common here in Vietnam apparently. And over here they have the bread for bánh mì, and it's very similar to baguette, but they're just not as long as like the very long French baguette. They're a little bit more pointy and short, but the structure of the bread and the recipe is very similar, tastes very similar. And then we're gonna try to combine those. Yes. She's cutting it right now. Let's see. So you spread it out with a spoon. Just like I would in France, I guess. But I still have to try the other one. I wanted to buy the other one. I didn't realize it was this kind. My mistake. I talked about this with a local, and they recommended me this cheese and wine shop over here, a very French cheese and wine shop. And over here they have like the accompanying Michelin star restaurant, which is kind of expensive, but we're gonna take a look at the menu at least. So here they have a large variety of wine, but I don't drink, so we're not gonna do any of that. And it's gonna be really expensive as well, I'm sure. And then viennoise or something. I don't think I've ever tried these. And then a baguette, but this is a variety that you usually don't see in Vietnam. And some sourdough bread. And this one I don't know. And then we have one last croissant. And then over here we have the cheese and meat selection. A lot of big sausages. And then here you have a lot of French cheese. And a lot of specialty cheese. It's all quite pricey because it's all been imported. I think I want some camembert, but not the super expensive one. I think the one you have over there, the packaged one.
I can get it. How much you want?
Can you do half?
You want half?
Yeah. Do you guys speak some French here or no French, only Vietnamese?
Only English and Vietnamese.
Yeah.
I have another co-worker.
Just
she's not.
Okay. And the owner, is the owner French or is it a Vietnamese guy?
French.
French?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. So the guy over there is cutting some ham. Here they prepare some sandwiches with the bread that they have here. Oh, okay, so it's times 1,000. Where does that even say it? Where does it even say that it's times 1,000? Yeah, here all prices are quoted in 1,000. Oh my god, that's crazy. Yeah, so it's a very expensive, high quality restaurant. A Michelin restaurant. You have like the little Michelin sign over there. So they have like French scallops, some kind of tuna. And here they have the starters, snails, other tuna, some onion soup, and then pigeon as a main course. And then there's a selection of wine options and desserts. Okay, so here you have a little bakery, and this is the kind of stuff that they sell. Here they have some stuff that they keep slightly warm. Over there's a bunch of cake, different varieties of cake. Over here you have bánh bao, which is like the bao bread, which is a very Chinese thing, but of course Vietnamese and Chinese, there's a continuum here. And then we have a bunch of more sweet pastries like donuts, donut holes, cupcake, and it's pretty usual like supermarket stuff. Here, these don't even look very appetizing. And here there's some other bread. And somewhere they should have the bánh mì bread. I'm guessing that in this box is bánh mì. So they're out of the bánh mì bread, which is like the French bread basically. Here's their little basket. Look up the bread. I think that would be good. So this is our end result. And what do we have? We have a bread that is like 13 cents in euros. And then the cheese, and I took half a cheese, which would last you like multiple times. And that was like 6 euros and 40 cents, which isn't that crazy. But in comparison with the food that they sell here, generally, like the general prices here, it's very expensive. Let's try it out. I think the first bite is not gonna have too much cheese in it. No? Here you can see some already. Okay, first bite that's gonna have cheese in it. Has that kind of like soury or bitter fish taste. Not as much as the brie, which is like the moldy cheese. But it still has that taste in a very light way, you know? It feels crazy to have this in Vietnam. But the bread itself is already so similar to the bread in France. They make them in like a shorter form factor. In France, it's very common to have like a very long sticks. I really like it. And a much more common thing to eat is the bánh mì here, where you don't get very French cheese with it, but instead you get kind of a Vietnamese combination of different meat and leaves like salad and other stuff, maybe some egg. That's very affordable. Here we have something considerably more expensive, mainly because of the cheese. At that cheese and wine shop that we went to, they also had some bread options, but they were very expensive for what is normal here. But these are not expensive at all. Here we have another bakery, a very French style bakery, Le Bordeaux, or Le Bordeaux Bakery. Then over here you have some sweets, you have some macarons, and a lot of things are already out. We have some salted egg croissant, and then we have some different cookies. Here they have some other bread, and another baguette, the long French bread, and some other breads. How much is the croissant?
37.
37, okay. Here we have the whole bread menu. Classic croissant, big croissant, almond croissant, chocolate. Some of them are out right now because it's already like late in the afternoon because that's when I get up. I would like 1 croissant and 1 macaron. Here we have a macaron or a macaron. I don't know. I just tried to say it in the French way. And I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced in French, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it's like a chocolate one, but I'm not sure. So soft. Like you bite into it and it just squishes. Actually, it's quite different than I expected it to taste. That was so sweet. I'm kind of shocked how sweet that was. And here you have a croissant. She asked me if I wanted to have it heated up, and I'm like, yeah, sure. So that's what she did. So how flaky is it? I mean, it doesn't really fall apart that much when you pull on it. Definitely significantly buttery. They make them here, of course. You know, there's quite a bit of variety in how they make croissants, and I'm not an expert, but it's definitely good and definitely on the very buttery side. Here randomly I stumble upon someone selling like real baguette, like the real long thick French bread on the side of the road. They're like the full size. I'm not sure what the price is. Oh, some are kind of dirty, they must have touched the ground, I don't know why. This one, how much?
12 ngàn.
I don't know what that means. I just bought some proper French bread here in Vietnam, which I didn't know if I was gonna see that, but I'm a little bit surprised I was gonna see that. And I already have my normal bánh mì, so yeah, we're gonna see. Okay, so here, funny enough, I find another guy selling the same kind of French bread, but I'm going to eat mine now. Okay, so right now I don't have a proper knife, but I do have some cheese left, and we're just gonna use the method of ripping it off. That should be enough. We just peel it open a bit. I'm trying to not make too much of a mess. Because it's out of the fridge now, it's gotten really soft. Okay, let's see. French bread is French bread ought to taste. With a cheese that you ought to eat it with. Yeah, it really does taste authentic and how it's supposed to. Nothing strange about it. And even the short ones, they are basically the same thing. The shape is just different. That's the main difference there. It's funny that you can eat this here in Vietnam, even though the cheese costs like close to 100 times more than the bread, depending on which bread you take. But yeah, the cheese can cost significantly more. You can still find it, and I think that's fun. I think that's interesting. I think it's funny. But I think all of the foreigners really love the availability of bread here in Vietnam. So just now I come across a little shop where they sell crepes. Crepes are also very French. And even if you think of them as pancakes, which is kind of like a general European thing, crepe is the French word for them. So that's also kind of French. So the result is pretty similar to what it tastes like in every country, and it's pretty good. It's hard to get a proper bite with only one hand.